Hello guys, so again I'm going to do my AM and PM skincare routine with Tretinoin, and I did one last year in 2022 and it's been few months and a lot of things has changed. So I made several mistakes actually. Not in the video, I was going great in the video and then I got confident, so I made few mistakes. I've gone back to 0.25 again, but there's this whole story. I'll just show you. So first thing I do is take off my sunscreen, and I have a little bit of tinted lip balm and some lipstick on my eyelids, so I'm just going to take that off. I'm using Bioderma Micellar water. Earlier I used to use Garnier one, and what I have noticed is this one is even gentler than the Garnier one. I used to think all micellar waters are same, but they are not. This is a bit expensive, so I got smaller size, but I guess I will now order a larger size because this does work differently, and my dermatologist made me understand how these and Garnier one are not like a dupe of each other. This has very different ingredients and they totally work differently than that one. Both do clean and both are perfectly fine to use, but this one is slightly better. So that's what I've been told. So I was like, it's okay. Initially with Tretinoin, I don't want to risk anything, so I just got this one, but I don't think I will use this forever because it's a bit expensive, but for a year or so I might. I'm gonna take a cotton pad. I'm gonna clean my eye area thoroughly. Also, don't rub too harshly. I am doing it very gently because this could be a form of exfoliation and you don't want to do that when you're using tretinoin, because you're constantly anyway exfoliating your skin with tretinoin. So physical exfoliation can really irritate your skin. So I use about 2 or 3 of this. Now I'm gonna hop into the shower and I'm gonna use this face wash. This is again from Bioderma. This is their gel mucin, Sensibio gel mucin. This is the micellar wash but in gel form. So it cleans but it doesn't feel drying. It's advertised for sensitive skin, so it's perfect when you're using tretinoin, and it's perfect for oily skin people because it's gel form. It doesn't create much of a foam, just like my morning cleanser, but I don't mind it. Little bit goes long way. For nighttime I only use like pea size, and without water there is no foam, but with water also there is like very little. I'll go into my bathroom, take a shower, come back and do rest of the routine. Hi guys. So alright, so first step after my face wash is Niacinamide Serum, and I think this is one of the ingredients that goes very well with tretinoin. There are very few ingredients that are good with tretinoin, so I want to incorporate this ingredient specially. I'm gonna focus this serum around my eyes because I have dark circle and niacinamide is supposed to help little bit, and then I'm gonna do my nose for the large pores issue, and the rest I'm gonna apply on my neck. The one that I used is from Key. It has cica, which is very calming, and it has 3% tranexamic acid. It also has licorice and oatmeal. I found this serum to be very calming. Otherwise, if I use any other brand's 10% niacinamide serum, it is very intense for me and I'm not able to handle it. But because it has cica and other very calming ingredients, oatmeal, it just works for me. So this is for my nighttime routine. Key is really doing great job with mixing certain ingredients that just you don't have to use so many skincare steps. You can just get done with one. So after that I'm gonna wait for about 5 minutes for my skin to dry, and then I'm gonna go in with tretinoin. But with tretinoin, I want to tell you guys, so in my last skincare routine video with tretinoin, I used this 0.5 tretinoin cream version, right? And I told you I had already used 0.25, which is true. I used 0.25 entire tube with zero irritation, and then I used half of it, and then I moved into 0.5, which was a mistake. I was supposed to use 0.25 for whole year, but I got cocky and I asked my dermatologist to just prescribe me this one just to try, and she did. But I'll insert few picture here. Things started going downhill from there and I thought I'll get better, as I was watching so many YouTube videos and people were like, just wait, good days are coming, but it never came. For entire 2 months my situation was just pimples everywhere. However, it was still manageable. It didn't hurt as much. I didn't have skin peeling, so I was shocked. So my doctor was also confused whether it was tretinoin purging or it was an allergy, because my skin wasn't peeling. There was no dry patches. Maybe once there was, and I'll insert a photo if I can find it here, but pimples were intense. So after that, without consulting my dermatologist, what I found from YouTube videos was to just go back to lesser percentage. So I went back to 0.25 because I had a family function coming up and I thought I'll look terrible even in makeup, so I need this to calm down. So I went back to this. For whole month I used again 0.25. The pimples calmed down just a little bit, but there were still little marks. I'll insert a photo here. So there were no pimples, but red brown marks from acne that they weren't going away. So foundation could still hide it, but I was still like, okay, tretinoin is supposed to give me really good skin, but what's happening, right? Anyway, for my next visit I went and my doctor realized that what was happening to me wasn't purging at all, because purging is supposed to last maximum 1.5 months, 2 month max. Considering my age, I'm quite young, so my cell turnover cycle has to be around 22 days, maximum 30 days. So my purging went on for 3-4 months, which is not normal. So they were like, we need to change something. So then she asked me to move on to gel formula. So this is again 0.25, but this is gel version. So I'm starting again from lower strength, and I have just started this, and she reviewed my entire skincare routine, which cream I'm using, which serum I'm using, and she approved everything that I'm using today. But yeah, so this is about same price. There is not much difference, but this is the gel formula. Now my skin has dried completely, so now I'm going to use tretinoin. Again, we need to use very little, which is pea size amount. So I'm going to use dot technique, and so far gel is working well for me. So I'm not sure if I'll go back to cream, because I feel like cream is slightly better because it doesn't have alcohol, and gel formula does have alcohol, which makes your skin even more drier. But considering it's winter, it's going to be winter now, we're at the end of February. March is going to be hot. I live in hot humid state, so I feel like it's okay if my skin gets a bit drier, because I naturally have oily skin, so I'm not really afraid about this. Another thing I don't like about gel cream is that it has very pungent smell, like chemical smell. You can tell the fragrance has been added, although in ingredient list it doesn't say. Ingredient list is just tretinoin USP and then in a gel base, so there is no full ingredient list on this one. But the company that I'm using is Menarani. So yeah, it's weird like that. And after this, the skin gets like a bit sticky, so it's slightly different than the cream formula. But yeah, if you guys are facing the same issue, like you're getting purging even though you've been using it for more than 6 months, definitely try out gel first, instead of changing entire skincare routine, try gel. If it doesn't work out, then try removing other actives from your skincare. Maybe you're allergic to something else. I didn't remove much of my active ingredients because I was already used to those. I've been using vitamin C since I was 23. So yeah. And another active my dermatologist added in the night routine is azelaic acid. Now that was for pimples, so you guys can see a little bit of red marks right now, but there used to be still pimples with that, so there could be two things that were going on in my skin. One thing might be that I'm allergic to cream version of tretinoin, and another thing is that I might be getting pimples on my own, just hormonal pimples or whatever. It doesn't sound true because before I started tretinoin I had amazing skin. I started tretinoin with zero skincare issue. I just started for anti-aging benefit, so getting these pimples and everything was really soul crushing for me. For very first time in my life I got so many pimples. Earlier I used to get one or two, maybe once a month during my period. But yeah, so if you are starting tretinoin with zero skin issues and then you're getting so much issues, maybe try changing it to gel cream. And yeah, so again, to combat the second issue, which might be actually an issue, is that I am getting pimple due to hormonal reason or whatever, like my actual pimples, and there is no side effect or no purging. Then to combat that issue, just to be on safe side, I am using azelaic acid, again suggested by my dermatologist. I'm starting with 10%, which is the minimum percentage concentration you can get. This is micronized version, and I'm going to use again very little amount, same amount that I used for tretinoin. And my dermatologist told me not to worry about which one goes first. I can use this one first and tretinoin later or whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm using it within 5 minutes of each of this. So, but what I found is that this azelaic acid is also very drying to the skin, so putting it in fridge makes it bearable. And the version that I'm using is cream version. I asked if I should get gel version of this only, and she was like, just try cream first, because in azelaic acid what the studies have found is that 10% cream and 10% gel are very different effects wise. 10% gel can give you same effect a 20% cream can. So it's very important that I don't really jump into gel formula, because that might be too much for me. I am going to avoid my eyes. Again, I'm wiping too many times on my face doesn't mean I'm applying so many times. It is very hard to spread. It's not very cosmetic friendly formula, so don't think I'm applying too much, because I'm not. In last video people are like, you're applying so much, and I was literally applying pea size, half a pea size, and that I applied on my face, on my neck, and on my chest that you did not see in my video. So lots of people are mad in my last video, but I do understand how much to apply, because my dermatologist made sure that I apply on dry skin. And I even started using tretinoin with sandwich method. Even with right now what I'm doing, I'm applying this one first, so it has very hydrating ingredients. It kind of works as a buffer before tretinoin, so it's kind of like sandwich method only. Now the next step is moisturizer for me. My moisturizer that I wanted to use in my last video as well was this Bioderma. This is a moisturizer that I loved using ever since it's launched in India. I have made a really detailed video about this moisturizer 2 years back. This is really good for sensitive skin and dry skin people. I have oily skin and I still love this one, especially at night time. So when I started tretinoin, I was like, okay, this is the best moisturizer, I need to go. But when I started, there weren't many options, or lots of people were like, doctors were suggesting minimalist. So I had ordered this CP Balm minimalist moisturizer, and it is formula wise it may be good, but aesthetically is not that great. It peels, so you cannot use this in the morning, because obviously you'll need to apply sunscreen on top of this and it will peel, so it's not a good feeling. At night time it kind of burned me around the eyes, so I did almost finish it, and then I just stopped when this one arrived, because while I was doing that while I was using that, I realized I need this one, so I reordered this and I finished so much. So since then I've been using this one only. Now we are in at the end of the February, so it's going to be a bit hot soon, and for that I'm going to use alternative. This is from Cetaphil moisturizing lotion. Now this is a lotion, but I can also use it on my face. My doctor told me to use it, which I was also very skeptical, but it also has vitamin B5, E, B3 and avocado oil, and this one also has niacinamide. This has mineral oils, which kind of puts people off sometimes. I don't mind it. So yeah, but for winter I love this one, and if you have sensitive skin, I guess you'll like it. If you have oily skin, people, you might feel too oily, but for nighttime you do need something thick like this. But as soon as March starts, I will start using this one. This is basically, they have similar formula and do similar things, but this one is thicker. So I'm gonna go in with my moisturizer. I'll take about this much and apply around my eyes first, so they're saturated. You can also do this step before you apply tretinoin, so your eyes are covered. I've been doing it for a month now, so I sometimes forget, but it's better idea to apply moisturizer around your eyes before you go in with tretinoin. As soon as I moved on to gel form, my skin changed almost immediately, like in just 3 days. So you don't have to use gel. I'm not saying gel is better than tretinoin. I might be just someone who's allergic to one ingredient in cream tube, but yeah, gel is definitely not better. It's more drying actually. But if you're purging for more than 3-4 months, try out gel version of this. Once that is done, I'm gonna do my lips, and I have pigmented lips. On camera it's not exactly visible, it looks mauvey, but I used to have really orangish pinkish lips, which you can still see in the middle, the actual shade, and outer corner has started turning brownish. I don't mind two-tone lips, but if you are looking at me in person, it is very noticeable, and it kind of, I actually got conscious because one of my colleague asked me if I smoke, and I was like, what? And she was like, because your lips. And I was like, no, I don't smoke. So I got really conscious, and she just assumed that I have two-tone lips because I smoke, and no, my lips are like this because I use so much cosmetic. I use lipstick for literally every day. And the more I started disliking my lips, more liquid thick lipstick I started using. So yeah, that became a problem. So anyway, I needed to treat that, and for that I was prescribed lipzlite lip lightening cream. This has so many stearic acid, kojic acid, glycolic acid, arbutin, stuff like that, which is supposed to exfoliate but gently. It also has so many emulsifiers, so it's supposed to be gentle on your lips. So also you cannot use other alpha arbutin or other exfoliation on your lips because your lips skin is very different than your face skin. So this is a specific product that I gotten. I'm not happy with the consistency of it because it doesn't spread so good. Because look at this, it also has smell, and it stays white like this. It doesn't sink in because anyway our lips doesn't have pore, but it looks like this, and in 10 minutes it's going to be very dry. So I'm going to apply Vaseline on top of it, which you don't have to do this, but it's going to be very dry. It's very drying formula, so I'm just going to do it. Vaseline, I'm going to take some Vaseline like this on back of my hand, and I'm going to apply here, and I'm going to use different finger, and I'm going to apply around my eyes thoroughly, but not so much as to like slugging, because that can give you milia. If you don't have issue with slugging, go crazy about it. But if you don't have issue with slugging, go crazy. But I personally find slugging gives me milia around my eyes, so I'm not gonna do that. But for 10 minutes I'm going to really get that moisture to stay, and for that I have a really good trick. It's a trick that I didn't come up with it. I saw Dr. Idris do it and I'm like, this is a really effective trick. So what you're gonna do is take Vaseline and you're gonna take a transparent film like that, which is for food, and you're going to create this with your clean hands, and then you're going to do this. Dr. Idris said this is basically just a cheap alternative to having an under eye patches. So you can do this for 10-15 minutes and your skin, under eye skin, will be just hydrated. It's going to trap the moisture in, which is what that thing under eye patches does. Of course, instead of Vaseline you can apply a really good serum that you have for under eyes and then do this, then it's just going to work as under eye patches. Whatever you want to do this 10 minutes, it's just, I feel like it's very affordable hack and everyone should do it because everyone can. This is not a big deal, it's not very time consuming. I have one more step which I'm gonna do after 10 minutes. Basically it's just going to trap the hydration all over, but I cannot apply Vaseline all over. Like I told you, it can really give you milia, so I'm going to use facial oil. Now again, lots of people feel like facial oil shouldn't be applied when you're using tretinoin, and the reason is because it can really dilute the tretinoin, but for me it's good because I want even lesser version than 0.25. So this is from Ozone Signature. This is their beauty therapy serum organic herbs facial oil. This is supposed to enhance skin texture. It has basically the ingredient list is formulated based on ancient Indian script, Ayurvedic script. It's basically Hridaya Tela. You might have heard Kumkumadi Tela, things like that. Those are all from Indian scripts, old scripts, old formula for beauty. Same like that, Hridaya Tela is again used for skin texture improvement, and you might find Hridaya Tela from other brands as well because they kind of use same formula, but this is the brand that I went for. Of course you can use any other oil like jojoba oil or sweet almond oil, things like that, the oils that are good for your face skin. Definitely don't use coconut oil for your face, but yeah. So if you're using any other facial oil like me, what you need to make sure is that you don't use any oil that has more than 2 or 3 oil combination and it doesn't have any essential oils. I'm not applying so much, I'm really just tapping and sealing this thing in 2 drops and look at your skin. You can also do facial massage after this step if you want. I sometimes do it, sometimes don't, but yeah, right now I don't really feel like it. But this is my last step of the night and I have given my skin complete hydration on top of the 2 actives that I used. Of course, azelaic acid, don't start with every day, just start with every alternate day, and I feel like I never got irritated with azelaic acid. Lots of people can handle it, very few people get irritation from azelaic acid. All you have to make sure is that it's going to be drying, so apply moisturizer. But yeah, even though I'm using it in conjunction with tretinoin, which some dermatologists don't like, they tell you to use azelaic acid in the morning, this in the night, but because I'm using vitamin C in the morning, I was suggested to do this two together. But yeah, if you are not using vitamin C and if you're stripping every other actives in the morning, then you can do this in the morning, this in the night, and just moisturize on top of this. You really don't need all of the things that I'm using. I'm using this many actives in my skincare routine because I know that I can handle it. This many actives as in I'm using only 3 actives 2 in the night and 1 in the morning. This 2 in the night and 1 in the morning, which is vitamin C serum. So it's not actually too many actives, but yeah, if you're just starting out, please make sure that you strip every other actives out of your skincare routine. Just use very gentle cleanser and your tretinoin, and then moisturizer in the morning. Just moisturizer and sunscreen and you're done. Don't put too many active ingredients. And once you know that your skin is comfortable with tretinoin already, then again introduce the active. That's how I started. It has been a year with so many tretinoin mistakes, so that's why I'm here to give you guys my advices. Again, it's subjective. I'm not a doctor. I have just expressed my experience with tretinoin. So let's move on. So now I'll come back tomorrow morning and show you my skin. You can see how plump my skin looks. A really good morning skincare routine starts at the night.